Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Life Starring Deb. I am so excited about today's episode for a couple of reasons. Number one, today is December 31st. It is the last day of the year, and I am so excited that if we live to see, tomorrow will be a brand new year. In addition to that, today's episode will mark my 100th episode since I started doing YouTube. And I'm just excited about that because you know what? I hung in there. I continued to do it. I didn't get distracted. I didn't get discouraged. I continued to create videos that I think will make you laugh, make you smile, and definitely make you think. So today is no different. So I want to end this year with a video that I hope will help you along your way, along your journey, and definitely give you something to think about as you enter the new year. So let's jump in here today on today's last episode of 2024 of Life Starring Deb. So have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, the season that you have with certain people could possibly be up? And what do I mean by that? I mean, just like the seasons, sometimes it's really hot, sometimes it's super cold, sometimes it's just lukewarm, right? Because seasons change. And just like seasons change, people change too. So think about it. Think about somebody just that comes to your mind. And you think that, there was a period of time where you guys were just like hot like fire, just always talking, always doing something, always going someplace, always, always, always. And then sometimes maybe not so much. Maybe there were times that you just didn't seem to connect. You just didn't seem to be as close as you were for whatever reason. And sometimes we just let it go, and sometimes we address it, and sometimes we just kind of move on. And why is that? And why am I talking about it now? Well, I'm talking about it now because people are dealing with it, um, but we have to remember that people are people, just like you. We are really quick to point out when somebody else may not be as warm to us as they used to be, or as seem as friendly or whatever. And we can also be that way too. And sometimes, the reason for that has absolutely nothing to do with that person, but it could have everything to do with you. You may change on people, and you may not realize that you're doing it. But sometimes we just know that something is definitely wrong. The energy is off. And you can tell when you talk to someone on the phone that you're used to talking to all the time. And all of a sudden, when you talk to him, the conversation is kind of dull, kind of, there's no real interaction. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Whatever. Or when you see the person, you don't get that feeling that you used to get when you were around that person, and you notice that person's demeanor is a little off when it comes to you. And again, these are just examples of different things that you noticed with some of your ships, some of your friendships, relationships, family ships, work ships, whatever the ships are. You notice that things are different. And that could make us feel some kind of way, right? Especially if you can't pinpoint what the reason is, like why that person has changed on you. And if the person hasn't said anything to you about it, or you haven't heard about it in the gossip wind or whatever, you just kind of leave it to your own self to try to figure it out what it is. And it may make you sad. But I don't want you to be sad. I want you to end this year on a high note. especially when you think about your friendships, those that are a little different. They seem a little different. I want to give you something positive. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is to be patient. Just be patient because you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. You just know that it is. At least to you it is. The other person may say, oh, I didn't notice at all, or whatever. So just be patient and continue to be kind and continue to be nice and continue to pray for your friend or your relationship. The other thing I want you to do, if it's really bothering you, is initiate a heart-to-heart conversation with the person. You don't have to get deep. It doesn't have to be heavy. Just initiate a conversation about it, about your feelings, and see where it goes. And while you are initiating that conversation, you want to listen. You want to listen to what the person is saying, but I also want you to pay attention to what the person is not saying. Because sometimes a person is just not in the headspace to talk about it, to go in detail. It might be some pain there, maybe whatever it is. So you want to initiate the conversation because you want the other person to know that I'm feeling something. And I just want to know if, is everything okay with us? And if the person doesn't go into an explanation about it, let it go because you put it out there. And just continue to be the friend that you always have been. Also, find some common ground. You know, you don't have to hang out with the person all the time. You don't have to talk to the person all the time. Find some common ground. What is the one or two things that you and that person like to do? Maybe it's going to the movies. Maybe it's going to the nail salon or the hair salon or the library or whatever it is. Just say, hey, a new movie is out. I was wondering if you want to meet me at the movies. Let's go to the movies and let's go check it out. That way, you still get to spend time with that person, but you are not bombarding the person with a lot of activities or a lot of things or a lot of phone calls because you just may be taking them away from something that they really need to be doing. And maybe that distance that you're feeling is that person has to put you on the back burner or to the side because they're focused on something else. And maybe they just don't know how to tell you that. Maybe they feel uncomfortable or whatever it is. So, you know what? Just initiate some common ground and just, make a suggestion of one or two things that you guys can do together and see if that helps to make you feel better about the way things are. And lastly, I want to tell you quality over quantity. The quality of time is what's most important. Not how much time you spend, but the quality of the time that you have with the person when you're together. And if it used to be you were together every weekend, now maybe cut down to, once a weekend or once a month or whatever it is. But when you are with that person, whether it be physically or whether they be on the phone, make sure that time, the quality of that time is sound, not the quantity. It doesn't matter how often it is. It just matters that when you do, that it's a good time and a memorable time and that your relationship still stays intact. So that is it. I did not want to go into the negative or what it could because I don't want to go there. I don't want to end the year in a down state. I want to uplift. I want us to feel good about 2025 in spite of all the changes that may be coming. I still want us to be very optimistic about the year. I definitely want us to be optimistic about our friendships. Knowing that, with them ships, some may fall off. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But today we are going to concentrate on that which is positive on the last day of the year. So that is today's show. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. When you do, thank you for sharing the video. Thank you for telling other people about it. This is my 100th episode, and I am so, so very proud of myself that I hung in there, and I am looking forward to 2025 and bringing Life Starring Deb into your computer, your phone, your office, your home, wherever you view. I appreciate you so much. So Until we meet again in 2025, God willing, be good to you. Take care and see you soon. Happy New Year.